皆さん、ようこそ。このエピソードでは、キャレブが2016年にリリースされるビデオゲームの多くについてお話しします。また、バルブの今後の新しいハードウェアとディスガイア GO をプレイする際の困難についても説明します。座ってパンツを脱ぐ準備をしてください。
Well, here we are once again. This is Video Game News with Caleb Harvey. Still figuring out the little jingle, but I did put a little jingle in the beginning. But what's up, everybody? It's your boy Caleb, back at it again with episode 3. If you want to count the pilot as an actual episode 1. So I've been doing good. Got a lot of notes for this one because, for one, I really wanted to talk a little bit about 2026, the video game releases, since we're still in January, and there's still plenty of time to talk about all of the releases that await the rest of this year until December, including the ones that have not been dated but have been rumored to come out for this year. And I did want to talk a little bit about my current playthrough of Disgaea 5 Complete. What's the subtitle? Alliance of Vengeance of Alliance. The fifth one, Complete Plus, I think is the other subtitle that I've been playing. What is my current hours in it right now? Let me look at my Steam. Last played January 10th as of, oh my god, I haven't played it in a week. 15.7 hours though. A little bite size. As far as Disgaea goes, that's like nothing. Those hours are pretty much nothing. Yeah, so I guess we'll just start with that though. Disgaea 5 is one of the franchises that I've been wanting to get into for a while now. And so far, I did decide Disgaea 5 in the end because of a lot of the quality of life and a lot of the game mechanics. There's a lot of mechanics that are introduced specifically in Disgaea 5. And I know it's a franchise that builds upon itself. So, and I did hear that out of all of them, 5 and 4 are the best ones. Also, the first one actually is well beloved to be an introductory game for the franchise as a beginner. And I did play a little bit of Disgaea 1 on my PSP, and I don't think I did. If I did play the PS2 release, then that might have been emulated a while ago. Back then, I didn't really have quite a grasp of what it was or what it was, like the gameplay style, or like what it was trying to do. But Disgaea 5 somehow, I guess Disgaea is one of those games that I finally have the right time to play it and understand it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think the last game that was kind of like that was, Witcher 3 comes to mind. There was one time where I was working at a GameStop, and this was 2019, before the pandemic, and I decided to play it for about a month, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's good. And but then I dropped it for for playing some other games, and then eventually, by the time it was, I think the year next, I think 2020 or 2021, that was my actual full playthrough, and then I actually did like it, and something like clicked, and I was able to enjoy it at that point. I feel like Disgaea is also like that, but at the same time, it's it's still very hard to grasp on, like, it feels like I'm doing something wrong all the time. But I like the gameplay loop, so I just play it anyway, you know? There might be a lot of people that can relate with other games that they have played. I don't think I really have played a game that made me feel that way before, or at least in a very, very long time. That's why I haven't really been continuously playing that, like, day by day, being like super hooked on it. I definitely do like it, and I want to continue it right now. But I think it's going to, or well, it already is kind of a game that's in the background that's like more of a pastime. If I'm bored or just want to play something, or like to pick up and play, plug and play, pick up and play, Peter Pan pick uppers. Yeah. For a lot of the stuff that has been introduced, I'll probably do a separate episode on the nitty gritty and like all the characters of Disgaea 5 and like my full playthrough of that. Usually they're about 60 hours. They're kind of typically like your standard like 60 to 70 hour RPG. Oh, and also like I never really played a strategy game like that. That's grid based. I never played like Final Fantasy Tactics, which actually I did. Now that I remember, I did say that in the last episode. But yeah, a lot of strategy-based games I never really played. I'm a lot more of just a classic turn-based kind of guy when it comes to RPGs. But yeah, that's how I am with Disgaea 5 right now. It's kind of a weird gray area. I wonder, I should have probably put some Disgaea playthrough up on the screen. I did. If you see the video though, this is my playthrough of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, the remake that came out I think in October or November last year, pretty recently. And yeah, that's also a game that I have tried. Definitely Devil May Cry reminiscent, and something that I have to get used to. Kind of like Disgaea, it's just like completely different, but something I'm just not used to at all. And but that's a game that I wanted to at least try out. But I don't know. I've been very picky ever since probably ever since 13 Sentinels. I've been very picky on what my next playthrough is going to be. Actually not since 13 Sentinels, Trails in the Sky. That was the big playthrough that I just finished that I was like super hooked on, like day in and day out. You know, it kind of got me thinking of like constantly chasing the gamer high, that just like that good playthrough that you're always craving. You don't necessarily like want to just try out a game. You want to pick up a game, play it, and just hope that it's good and just finish it to the end. That's where I am at right now. I don't know with Ninja Gaiden 2 that I'll do that. I'll probably give it another shot and continue. I played the first 2 chapters. So I'll probably play chapter 3 and 4. And I think there was 18 chapters in total, 17 or 18. And that's a super short. And also I played it because it was super short. It was about 10 to 12 hours for a blind playthrough, according to the good old howlongtobeat.com, HLTB. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give it another shot, but I've yet to find the next playthrough that really been grabbing me. I recently went and did 3 different playlists, or what do you call it? Yeah, I guess playlists on my Steam. Instead of like one bulky backlog, I put into games I actually want to play, and then games I'll eventually try. And then there's the games to use Japanese for when I'm fluent in Japanese, which I don't think I actually mentioned before that I'm studying Japanese on this podcast yet. I've talked to it with my friends and family. So for me, I'm like used to talking about my study, but for this podcast, I don't think I ever mentioned that once. But yeah, Japanese has been on the forefront for a while now, for the past 5 months. Actually, Disgaea 5 and Disgaea 1 is a part of that Japanese. But anyway, yeah, 115 eventually try, and then 83 actually want to play. And yeah, I'll just scroll through these, and I'm like, oh, what do I want to play? And also, it's like, I wonder, I kind of have a problem with micromanaging my time, with how long a game is, and trying to play that game before another release comes. Like for example, I want to have enough time to play Resident Evil Outbreak and Outbreak File 2 before Resident Evil Requiem comes out, because of the related, what is it called? The character, was it Ashley Ashcroft or something rather, from the Outbreak, and then being the mother of Grace Ashcroft in Requiem, it gave me more motivation to play those two games. So I'm like, oh well, those are two more games I have to play this year, like around this time. So I've been debating that just to go ahead and play those before Requiem, because those are also 10 hours, so that would be like about 20 to 30 hours if I play those back to back before Requiem, and that should give me enough time. But I don't mean to ramble too much. But yeah, this is all just to say I'm kind of in a weird limbo state right now of trying to find the next big game to play before Requiem. And luckily that's February 26th. Yeah, I'm super excited. I expressed my excitement last episode. I did want to talk about the current releases that are up and coming for this year, to be announced, and also that have already been dated. And hopefully my knowledge is incorrect. If any of you have know of a correction of a date, then that I might be wrong, please let me know in the comments. But as of January, these are some. Now, this is a list of certain games that I'm either mildly excited for, or super excited for. And going through them, I think January had three that I know of. Was Trails Beyond the Horizon, which is just a continuation of a very long running series, Trails. I just finished Trails Chapter 1. It makes me wonder if they are going to make remakes of some of the other 2.5D. Could you say they were 2.5D, the originals? They kind of look like it. I don't know. But Trails Beyond the Horizon, yet another release to catch up on. And Code Vein 2, I kind of keep forgetting that exists. Oh my god, Code Vein. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Code Vein. It was like something that just came and went, and I'm to this day very surprised that they're making a sequel to it. And then Highfall. I'm actually surprised Highfall was January. I thought it was later in the summer or something, but Highfall being the ex-Titanfall devs, for the most part, and that was announced. That was supposed to be a big announcement for the Game Awards, and that, from my knowledge, it wasn't like the greatest feedback from the gaming community. No one like everybody wants the Titanfall 3. But seeing Highfall was like, oh, another hero shooter. Oh, uh-oh. You know. Yeah. That's something to I'll keep my eye on Highfall just to see any backlash or if there's actually some golden nuggets in that game. Maybe I'll get into it. I don't think I've ever played a hero shooter diligently or actually seriously before. And I don't think Highfall, I have a feeling Highfall is not really going to be that one. But February, Dragon Quest 8 Reimagined, that is pretty cool. I believe it is Dragon Quest 8. It looks a bit off to me, like almost Uncanny Valley. Oh no, it's Dragon Quest 7. Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined. That's right. I think I got confused with 8 because I have a copy of Dragon Quest 8 in my basement. That was like something Lord of the King or something. But Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, February 5th. So that's coming right around the corner. That's about 2 weeks from now, I think. It's the 17th. So yeah, 2 to 2.5 weeks. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I'm excited for the Dragon Quest fans. That's another franchise that I do want to get into. I don't think maybe I'll play this. I don't think it has a demo. I'm definitely interested in people's feedback of how it relates to the original. Oh my gosh, the art direction. Oh, it does have a demo. Oh, that's crazy. I'll probably play that then. But I don't know. Some of the characters look okay, but some of it is just like, oh boy. But when it comes to gameplay though, it like, I don't know. It like looks pretty. It does look pretty, but it looks ugly at the same time. It's very weird to look at for me. Yeah, it's so weird. So I'm curious on what the feedback of that game is going to be soon. But and then of course Resident Evil 9 in late February. I'm definitely going to play. I did hear about Rainbow Six Mobile. Separate. I don't know if that's separate a mobile game. I've never played Rainbow Six Siege. I think the only hero shooter, actually, only shooters I really did play, like battle royales, is a little bit of PUBG and like the tiniest bit of Fortnite. But Rainbow Six is one of them that I did not play. I know this has a very big player count though. East 10, Proud Nordics, yet another franchise that I need to get into. A very long-running franchise, and from Falcom, so the same people that made Trails. They did make a what's it called? A fighting game, a 3D fighter that was called East versus Trails in the Sky, specifically Trails in the Sky, the liberal arc that's called in Trails. Yeah, East 10 being like from the PC 88, I think. Very long standing franchise. So still going strong for next month. Nevergrace Witch March has Nevergrace Witch and the Curse, a little Metroidvania with kind of a twist to it. That looked very interesting. That was another Game Awards announcement that that piqued my interest very quickly. We'll see what that has to offer when it releases. But and then Fatal Frame 2 remake. There is a lot of news that in trailers that have released for Fatal Frame 2 was the subtitle Crimson Butterfly. That was it. Yeah, Crimson Butterfly. Sadly, Fatal Frame is a franchise that I feel like if I did play it as a kid, it would be in my top 10 right now. but I haven't played any of them, and yeah, something tells me, kind of like with 13 Sentinels, something tells me I would really dig Fatal Frame. And the same with Monster Hunter. And speaking of which, Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming out in March. Um, I don't know which one I want to start with, Monster Hunter or Monster Hunter Stories. I know Stories is more of like a Pokemon kind of party based, like monster catching party based, whereas the original Monster Hunter is more just like monster fighting and gathering. Um, yeah, that Monster Hunter I don't think has really clicked for me yet, but I think given time it will have its foothold on me. Oh, and Crimson Desert being another big one for March. That's from the Korean devs from Nexon. I think, yeah, it's being published from Nexon and from the developers of Black Desert. That's right. I never played Black Desert, and I did see some gameplay from, let's say, Asmongold and some other people, and I mean, it looked pretty, but looking at Crimson Desert and the different direction that it's taking, not being MMO, but actually being like super crazy ambitious RPG, um, that is definitely, I'll have all eyes on Crimson Desert, if anything, on March. April, of course, Pragmata. I'm definitely playing. Invincible Versus for the fighting game folks out there. I'm happy for you. That looks very, very good. I did watch season 1. I have yet to watch season 2. I think there is a season 3, right? I maybe mistaken, but I have yet to catch up on the show. And then Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred. Uh, I keep thinking of the Vessel of Hatred with the Maximilian dude joke. If you know, you know. But Diablo 4. I'm more drawn to Diablo 1 or 2 to start out with. But yeah, that seems well, moving on though. As far as I know, May Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, or Lego Batman the Legacy of the Dark Knight. That seems very promising for May. Very promising indeed. Was that May 29th? So essentially the beginning of June. A hard swing into summer for Lego Batman. That seems really good. I did play some of Lego Harry Potter just to get a feel for what Lego games are about. But seeing the footage of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight looks super polished, looks so good. Looks like such a love letter to the Arkham series and Batman as a whole. I'm very looking forward to Lego Batman. Yeah, I am expecting myself to definitely try that game out that later this year. Um, and then all the way in September, Phantom Blade Zero. Oh, this is that game that had that metal ass boss fight music that I remember listening to and watching. That, yes, September 8th, so in 7 months. Oh, that looks from S Games Studio. Yeah. I probably won't. The reason why I don't think I will play this in September is because I'll be busy with Trails in the Sky second chapter by then. Um, but yeah, yeah, Phantom Blade Zero. Ooh, is it same S Games? Yeah, this is the original IP from S Game Studio. Very interesting indeed. And then November has Grand Theft Auto 6, the infamous Grand Theft Auto 6. I'll be holding my breath. I'm going to say that. I'll be holding my breath for Grand Theft Auto 6 and seeing if that comes to being, if they have everyone and myself is expecting another delay for that game. Um, it's crazy to think that it had an original release date of May of what was it, May of this year? I believe, yeah, it was May of this year, huh? So it would have been a lot closer. So I mean, well, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Maybe it will be releasing in November. It'll be crazy. It'll be fine, and then we'll have to wait another year for the PC release. Man. Uh, but let's move on to the to be dated that I did list out. Bloodstained Scarlet Engagement, Danganronpa 2x2, Densha Attack. That's definitely on my radars. Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy. I did not know they were still doing a Dissidia spinoff Final Fantasy. That's crazy. Fable, if that even releases, I have a feeling Fable is just in development hell, or they're really trying to keep it a secret of how the development's going. We'll see about Fable, but I do not have the highest hopes for a 2026 release. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I was surprised. I didn't hear anything about Fire Emblem for a little while. I think the last time I did was Three Houses. What was Three Houses? That was a Switch. That was Switch 1. So that was a few years ago. Yeah, another franchise I really wanted to get into. Gothic 1 remake out of nowhere. And then speaking of Gothic, Gunmetal Gothic, I've been trying to follow. That's an indie project that's very Bloodborne like, and it's a co-op shooter RPG though, not necessarily like super Souls like, if I understand correctly. But yeah, how do you pronounce this? Why no ham? Yeah, this has been in development for a couple of years now, and it's not even early access, but I'm definitely interested in developers making this and seeing if there's going to be any backlash from software, for like there's any plagiarism or something like that, or maybe there's any backlash. But yeah, I'm still looking forward to Gunmetal Gothic. Super Meat Boy coming into 3D. That's very cool. Dusk Bloods. Speaking of Gunmetal Gothic and From Software, Dusk Bloods. Oh boy, that's gonna be pretty interesting. I think, was that a Switch 2 release? I think it was a Switch 2 exclusive, if I remember right. That was wild to see. Out of the last Nintendo Direct that they released was Dusk Bloods. That was crazy. And then Tomb Raider remake for the first remake, or Tomb Raider 1, and then also Legacy of Atlantis, and brand new Tomb Raider. So a double whammy. You don't see that every day, especially for Tomb Raider of all things. And then from the creators of Disco Elysium, we have Zero Parades. Yet to play Disco Elysium, but I do have a feeling I'll play that first. And thanks to Divinity Original Sin, I have much more appreciation to CRPGs, and I definitely have more of a how do you say it, gravitational pull I have more of a gravitational pull more of a pull to playing Disco Elysium now. And I didn't even know this Disco Elysium was a CRPG until looking at the footage a few months back last year. But yeah, I'm super excited for Zero Parades. And then from Munfish, Ill and Atomic Heart 2, that's definitely on my radars for this year. I'm super hyped. I'm really hoping Ill specifically will be a Halloween release of all things, especially. And speaking of Halloween releases, hoping Corpse Party 2 Dark Distortion, my darling angel Corpse Party, will also be releasing this year on Halloween. Please, for the love of God, I want it so bad. Please, I want to get back into Corpse Party. Um, and then finally, we have Fate Keeper, another 3D RPG that's kind of medieval based, very almost like Avowed or Skyrim like, but I guess more polished, you could say. And Persona 4 Revival. Um, yeah, Persona 4 Revival. I think Persona 4 Revival did doesn't have a to be dated doesn't have a date yet, because that is one game that got leaked before, so they weren't kind of ready for a release date. So I imagine if it was an official trailer release, then they would have a date already. But it's kind of wild to see like Persona 4 Revival, one getting a remake treatment, and also, um, yeah, Persona 4 coming back. That's pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting it anytime soon. I was expecting Persona 6 first, and then Persona 4. And Alice has just been busy ever since Persona 5 Royal. I think ever since specifically P5R, they've just super been busy. Super busy. Dear God. Alice, you need to calm down. Oh man. And then last but not least, we have the Valve next gen hardware. There is some like financial economical politics to this that have heard. Not really my area of expertise, but let me just iterate how excited I am for this, how absolutely dumbfounded I was when I first saw the trailer, as was everybody really. But I think that was actually one of my favorite experiences of last year was actually watching that announcement trailer, looking at all was it three, the Steam frame, the Steam machine, and the Steam controller. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then also, we're because of the fact that it's mid-January, we have yet to hear anything from Valve yet, but and they haven't released any pricing, and that's been the big thing about all this hardware so far, is the pricing. What's the pricing? Because we have the hardware components and what it's going to feature. That's great. That's why we're so excited, is because we kind of know what it's going to be about. But yeah, yeah, it's going to be so great. Oh my god, it's going to be so much. It's going to be so much fun. Oh my god, the controller is going to be my first thing. I just looking at the Steam controller too, and all these years later, because ever since Steam Deck came out in 2021, I got mine in quarter 2. There has been rumors about the new Steam controller, and like Valve's learning from their mistakes with the Steam Deck. They're gonna make a new Steam controller, and it's gonna be the Steam Deck. It's gonna be a whole thing, and then having this euphoric I knew it feeling from that announcement trailer. That's why I want the Steam controller first, of all things. Not the Steam frame, not even the Steam machine. I want the controller of all things first. God, because I did use some different games with the original Steam controller. I appreciate what that original controller was trying to do. And but I am appreciative that they went ahead and did a brand new remodel after all these years. I don't even know when was that original release of the controller. What was that? Like 20? I think it was 2013. I think because I think the original Steam machine and controller came out at the same time in 2014 or 2013. That's so it's been about 10 years or so, or just above. Yeah, it's so fascinating. So fascinating to see. If anything, I'm by the hardware components and the concept, I'm interested in the Steam frame, but in terms of wanting and buying the Steam machine, I want the Steam machine more, but I'm fascinated by the Steam frame. That's as best as I can put it. But again, this could change. I could just go ahead and go ham and get all three hardware pieces from day one, and my wallet will be crying all the way home. But yeah, once those prices drop, you best believe that I'll be the first person. I'll try to be the first person to pre-order that and be. And I wonder if they'll do a Steam Deck release, how they'll do it in quarters. I wonder, actually. That's another thing, and I don't think they've really explained that if they're doing a quarter one, 2, 3, 4. But they did announce that more will be talked about in early 2026. And I interpret it at early 2026 as quarter one 2026. So it could be any day now that they'll say something, or any day in February, or any day in March. Like March being the last, I guess, early month of 2026. Yeah, Valve, your time is running out. Your time is definitely running out. Little, you're not little. You're very big. I love you, Valve. I don't mean to offend you. I love what you're doing. Please develop more Proton. Develop your stuff. Please never stop being great. Oh, well, anyway, looking at the time, it's about 37 minutes in, and I guess I might have to call it there. I'll just have to keep on blueballing you with the 13 Sentinels thing, because I did promise. I didn't promise, but I do want to make these episodes about 30 minutes, and not really that much more. So. But I promise, with everything out of the way, with all these releases and all the things that I'm excited for, I do want to explain 13 Sentinels next time. Next time we'll do 13 Sentinels. I promise. This is not going to be a bit. It's not a bit. All right, I love 13 Sentinels. I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about it next time. I don't want the episode to run in too long for all these new viewers. That'll be a little bit daunting for all this information. Also want to give enough time and not necessarily forget anything that from my playthrough. So I want to make sure I have all of my thoughts before explaining how I feel about that game and what my experience was. So with that all being said, await the next episode next week for 13 Sentinels, and yeah, let me know what kind of video games you're expecting. Are you excited for Valve's hardware? Are you a cool guy? I bet you are. I hope you are, like me. But yeah, do let me know in the comments of Spotify and YouTube that what games you are currently playing as well. I would love to know. And maybe what games I should play right now while I wait for Requiem. Yeah, please help me out with that maybe sometimes. That'll be really helpful. Because goddamn, I have so much choices, but I don't know what to pick right now. A little bit of analysis paralysis, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is Caleb Harvey signing out. KTLA5.